very little. I mean, I looked on Google. I looked on Google before I came here, but I just, when I travel around, I just try to surprise myself or just let myself be surprised. So, I mean, I don't know. I knew it was gonna be cold, so I was worried about clothes. And at the club, they reassured me that I'm gonna get a warm jacket and I'll be fine. So I just let everything happen.
The only thing I really knew about Russia is that it was a very huge country. I didn't realize it had so many different time zones in one place until we started traveling to our away games, and that it was going to be a 12-hour time difference from back home. So that was pretty much it. But my mother has coworkers that were from Russia, and they gave me a little book to the best things to know about Russia. So I've been reading that in my spare time.
First thing was probably traffic. I come from a smaller country, and we don't have like 4-lane traffic, and we don't have conditions like this, like snow and ice and everything. So at first I was really scared with like my driver driving me around, but now I'm fine, everything's normal. That's probably the biggest thing that I can like give out right now.
Last season, when I was in Ukraine, on the TV, the news, it was about polar bears in Russia, but I didn't know what part of Russia, but it was polar bears that were like coming into towns and villages, and so when I first decided I was going to come to Russia, I was like, oh, they might have polar bears. Like, I don't know how this is going to work if I come out of my house and I just see a polar bear, you know. So I was a little nervous, but then I see like I'm in a big city. It's very similar to how it is in America, and I couldn't have asked for a better situation.
Я люблю снег, так что все хорошо.
I was expecting it to be a little worse actually than what it was.
Me too.
It's very similar. It's a lot of snow back in New York as well. It's a little colder here, but I was surprised. Like I was ready for like to be in an igloo, have on a big old coat, you know, buy boots, yeah.
Since I signed with Novosibirsk, I was kind of started following more Russian news, more what's going on with government, your president and everything. So I guess famous Russian Putin. Dostoevsky's Russian?
Yes.
Yeah, we read it. It's cool. Zločin и казнь. Как бы сказать? The crime and the punishment. Преступление и наказание.
Only Russian that fought Conor McGregor, Khabib. The one food I try, I know it's not from Russia, it's borscht. Borscht is from Ukraine, but it's a dish that's like well known in Eastern Europe. I love borscht. I love borscht. Yeah. And words, I know pretty much a lot of negative words in Russia. But I know like the simple hello, how are you? Привет, как дела? Хорошо. And then for basketball terms like пришли, like let's go, поехали.
I started basketball by I was not pushed but introduced to basketball by my brothers and my dad who all played basketball, and there's a good club, Helios Donjali, in my hometown, so I started there, then moved around Slovenia, then went to US, back to Slovenia. I was I think 8 or 9 years old when I started with like basketball school.
I started when I was about the same age. It was a game. It was a famous game. I believe it was called NBA Jam. Back in the day, it was like a 2-on-2 game where you could pick any two players in the NBA. And I don't know, it was one player that caught my eye in particular named Allen Iverson. He was like the smallest guy in the game, but at the time, he was like the MVP of the league and everything like that. And when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to be just like him, you know. I knew I wasn't going to be that tall because of my parents. So I tried to implement my game and shape it like to him. And yeah, that's why I wear like the number 3. In the beginning of the season, I was in the NBA G League, which is more of a fast-paced style of play. Which is very different from the European style. European style is more team-orientated, getting the best shot possible. And in regards to the G League or NBA, the best shot may be the first shot coming down. That might be your only opportunity to get an open look. So that was one thing that I like about coming back to Europe, was how it's just a flow, ball movement. And as far as the league, I think this is a good league to be a part of. It gives you opportunity to grow out of this league, to go to higher leagues.
The level's pretty similar. Here you get, I think, more experienced players, like coming down from VTB or coming from different parts of Europe, coming back to play in Russia. So Russian players are very experienced, but I think there's like older guys, older leagues. So you have to play smart, or you have to play really fast, explosive, and to outrun them. Like comparing it to Slovenia, in Slovenia there's like maybe 1 or 2, or not even that, like older guys on the team, and everything else is just younger guys that are trying to really get a chance, and like on like lower end, on teams on the lower end, and the 3 teams that compete in first ABA league, they've got really good guys on their teams, and are trying to compete with the best clubs in Europe, you know, like Crvena Zvezda, Partizan's doing really good right now in Euro Cup.
Every country has a different play style. Some countries are more tough, defensive orientated. You know, they play hard, they fight for rebounds, loose balls, and everything, which is very different if you go to the States, where you may be protected more in regards to hand checking or being a little on the ball. You can push off a little and things like that. So it's interesting to how you can adjust your game based on where you are and what makes you a basketball player. And knowing how to play in different styles, different ways, so in order to get a win.
At the end, like traveling around the world can really build you up to higher quality players. So we both played in college, and now we are both playing in Europe. So I guess that makes us better basketball players. We just have to prove that on the court.